Captain Mira Vos stared at the impossible readings on her console, her hands trembling as she ran the scans for the third time. The quantum resonance detector couldn't be malfunctioning, not when it showed the same result across every instrument. On the ship, the fabric of space itself was ... wrong here. "Captain," called her science officer, Leo Kim, his voice barely above a whisper. "The dimensional barriers are fluctuating. It's like reality is ... soft." The exploration vessel Dawn's Edge had been mapping the Outer Rim territories for 6 months, cataloging worlds for potential human settlement. What they'd found instead defied every law of physics humanity had discovered. The Kepler 442 system wasn't just empty, it was malleable. Mira watched through the viewscreen as their probe descended toward the fourth planet. The moment it breached the atmosphere, something extraordinary happened. The barren, rocky surface began to shimmer and shift. Where the probe's sensors detected human biological signatures, even from orbit, the ground responded. Grass sprouted. Water bubbled up from nowhere. The air itself seemed to thicken with breathable atmosphere. "It's impossible," Leo muttered, checking his readings again. "The planet is reading our genetic markers and ... adapting, transforming itself to support human life." Dr. Elena Cross, their xenobiologist, leaned over the scanner array with wide eyes. "This isn't just terraforming. The molecular structure of the planet is rewriting itself in real time. It's as if the universe recognizes something in human DNA that triggers this response." The probe's cameras showed them something that would haunt Myra's dreams for years to come. Where their small mechanical explorer had landed, a perfect circle of Earth-like environment had formed. Blue sky overhead, fertile soil beneath. Even the gravitational field had adjusted to precisely 0.98 Earth standard. "Captain." Leo's voice cracked with emotion. "I'm detecting quantum signatures consistent with conscious manipulation of space-time. But there's no intelligence down there, no technology. It's the planet itself, no, it's reality itself that's responding to us." Mira felt tears streaming down her face as the implications hit her. Humanity hadn't just evolved on Earth by chance. They'd evolved as reality's chosen children, beings whose very existence could reshape the fundamental laws of physics. Every human carried within their cells the power to transform the universe itself. The communication array suddenly crackled to life. Reports were flooding in from across human space. Every exploration ship, every deep space mission was reporting the same phenomenon. Wherever humans went, reality bent to accommodate them. Dead systems bloomed with life. Impossible physics became possible. The universe itself was rolling out a red carpet for humanity's expansion. Every great bond starts with a single moment of courage. HFY Chronicle Stories is just beginning, and your support matters. If you love emotional sci-fi tales, forbidden connections, and stories that stay with you, hit subscribe. It's free, and it helps us bring more stories from the stars to you. "We need to get home," Mira whispered, her voice heavy with the weight of destiny. "Earth needs to know. We're not just explorers or colonists. We're something far more significant than we ever imagined." As the Dawn's Edge turned toward home, Mira couldn't shake the feeling that they'd just discovered humanity's true purpose in the cosmos. They weren't meant to adapt to the universe was meant to adapt to them. 6 weeks after the Dawn's Edge returned to Earth, the Sol system had become the center of a transformation that defied comprehension. Dr. Elena Cross stood in the hastily constructed research facility on Luna, watching as her theories about human genetic resonance were proven beyond doubt. "Show me the data from Mars again," she requested, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were witnessing. The holographic display materialized before her, showing the red planet's impossible metamorphosis. Within hours of the first human research team landing on Martian soil, the planet had begun its transformation. The atmosphere thickened with oxygen and nitrogen. Ancient underground water systems had reactivated, creating rivers and lakes. Most remarkably, the planetary magnetic field had spontaneously regenerated, protecting the new biosphere from solar radiation. Commander Jack Torres, head of the Mars expedition, appeared via quantum communication link. His weathered face carried a mixture of wonder and concern. "Elena, it's accelerating. We've got forests growing where there was nothing but dust yesterday. The temperature stabilized at 22 degrees Celsius across most of the habitable zones. It's like Mars is remembering how to be alive." Elena studied the biological scans streaming from Mars. "Jack, I need you to understand what we're seeing. Here, human DNA contains quantum information patterns that interface directly with the fundamental structure of reality. We're not changing these worlds through technology, we're changing them through our mere presence." The implications were staggering. Every human carried within their cells what Elena had termed reality anchors, quantum signatures that could rewrite the basic laws of physics within a localized area. The more humans present in a location, the stronger the effect became. Dr. Ana Reeves, the lead physicist on the project, joined the conversation from her station on Earth. "We've confirmed similar effects throughout the Sol system. Europa's ice shell is melting from the inside out, creating vast oceans beneath a newly formed atmosphere. Titan's methane lakes are converting to water. Even the asteroid belt is showing signs of gravitational restructuring." The transformation wasn't limited to planetary bodies. Space itself was becoming more hospitable to human life. Radiation levels dropped in human-occupied areas. Micrometeorites seemed to avoid human ships. Even the vacuum of space became less hostile, as if the universe was cushioning humanity's expansion into the cosmos. Elena pulled up the genetic analysis that had kept her awake for weeks. "The quantum markers are strongest in human DNA, but they're not exclusive to us. We're finding similar patterns in Earth's biosphere, weaker signatures in other mammals, traces in plant life, even in some bacteria. It's as if Earth itself has been preparing for this moment." Commander Torres leaned forward, his expression serious. "There's something else, Elena. We're not the only ones who've noticed these changes. We've detected artificial signals from the outer system. Whoever's out there, they're taking an interest in what's happening to us." The room fell silent as the weight of first contact settled over them. Humanity had spent centuries wondering if they were alone in the universe. Now, as they discovered their power to reshape reality itself, they were about to find out what the cosmos thought of their transformation. Elena looked at the data streaming from across the solar system worlds. Blooming with life, space bending to accommodate human needs, reality itself seeming to celebrate humanity's presence. Whatever was coming, whatever intelligence had noticed their awakening, humanity would face it as the universe's chosen children. The age of human transformation had begun, and there would be no going back. The first contact came not as fanfare or invasion, but as a whisper in the quantum foam itself. Dr. Elena Cross felt it before her instruments detected it. A presence pressing against the edges of human transformed space, studying them with ancient, patient minds. The entity that materialized in Earth's orbital conference chamber defied easy description. It appeared as shifting geometric patterns that hurt to look at directly, occasionally resolving into something almost recognizably humanoid, before dissolving back into mathematical abstractions. "We are the architects," it spoke without words, the meaning appearing directly in the minds of everyone present. "We have observed your species for 11,000 of your years, waiting for this moment." Elena found her voice first, though her throat felt dry as desert sand. "You've been watching us?" "Why?" The entity's form solidified slightly, taking on aspects that suggested vast age and infinite patience. "Every reality has its gardeners, Dr. Cross, beings who tend the fundamental forces, who maintain the balance between order and chaos. We have served this function for millions of your years, keeping the universe stable and predictable. President Sarah Chun, representing the United Earth government, stepped forward. What does this have to do with humanity? You are our successors. The architect replied, and Elena felt the shock ripple through every human mind connected to the quantum communication network. The patterns within your genetic structure, what you call reality anchors, are not accidents of evolution. They are inheritance markers, passed down through countless generations from the previous gardeners of this reality. Elena's mind raced. Previous gardeners? You mean there were others before you? The universe evolves, Dr. Cross. Each epoch requires gardeners suited to its needs. We inherited our role from the crystalline entities who came before us, who inherited theirs from the plasma dancers before them. Now the cosmos moves toward a new phase of existence, one that requires beings capable of organic reality manipulation. Commander Torres, now back from Mars, asked the question everyone was thinking. Why us? Why humans specifically? The architect's form shimmered with what might have been amusement. Your species possesses something unique, the ability to imagine realities that do not yet exist, and then make them real through sheer force of will combined with biological quantum resonance. You dream of better worlds and then create them simply by being present. Elena studied the readouts from across human space. In the 6 months since the discovery of humanity's reality-shaping abilities, their expansion had been phenomenal. Not through conquest or terraforming technology, but through transformation. Dead systems bloomed with life. Hostile environments became paradises. Even dark matter seemed to respond to human presence, forming protective barriers around human-occupied space. There is more, the architect continued. Your transformation abilities are not limited to physical reality. You reshape probability itself. Unlikely beneficial outcomes become likely in your presence. Hostile alien species become peaceful. Resources appear where none existed before. You are not just gardeners, you are the universe's way of ensuring its own survival and growth. Dr. Reeves pulled up the latest astronomical data. We've been tracking anomalous readings from the galactic core. Is that related to this ... transition? The architect's form grew more intense, patterns swirling faster. The galaxy approaches a crisis point. Dark forces gather at its heart, entropy incarnate, seeking to unravel reality itself. Previous gardener species fought these forces through technology and pure energy manipulation. But you fight entropy by creating order from chaos through imagination and will. Elena felt a chill of understanding. You're saying humanity's role is to prevent the universe from falling apart? More than prevent, Dr. Cross. Your species will guide reality into its next evolutionary phase. Where we maintained, you will transform. Where we preserved, you will create. The universe itself has been waiting for beings capable of dreaming new forms of existence into being. The implications staggered everyone present. Humanity wasn't just stumbling into cosmic power, they were inheriting a responsibility that spanned geological ages. The future of reality itself rested in their hands. The first attack came without warning, reality itself seeming to tear apart at the edges of human space. Elena watched in horror from the Luna facility as the Proxima Centauri system humanity's newest transformed paradise simply vanished from all sensors, leaving behind a void that hurt to perceive. Report! She shouted into the emergency communication array, though part of her already knew what they would find. Commander Torres's voice crackled through the quantum link from the Mars Defense Station, his usual calm replaced by urgency. It's gone, Elena. The entire system. Not destroyed, erased. Like it never existed in the first place. The architect materialized in the command center, its geometric patterns more agitated than Elena had ever seen. The Devourers have found you sooner than we anticipated. Your rapid expansion caught their attention. Devourers? President Chun demanded, her face pale as reports flooded in from across human space. More systems were winking out of existence. Alpha Centauri, Volf 359, all the beautiful worlds humanity had transformed with their presence. Entropy incarnate, the architect explained, its form shifting rapidly between configurations. They exist in the spaces between realities, feeding on order and structure. Your transformation abilities create exactly the kind of organized complexity they seek to consume. Elena pulled up the sensor data from the edge of human space, her blood running cold at what she saw. The darkness wasn't empty, it was actively hungry, reaching out with tendrils of pure negation that dissolved everything they touched. Stars, planets, even the fabric of spacetime itself was being systematically erased. How do we fight something that unmakes reality? Dr. Reeves asked, her hands flying over quantum physics calculations that seemed increasingly meaningless in the face of such absolute destruction. The architect turned to Elena, its alien attention focusing on her with uncomfortable intensity. You must do what no previous gardener species could accomplish. You must not merely resist the devourers, you must outcreate them. Elena felt understanding dawn like a cold sunrise. You mean we need to transform reality faster than they can destroy it? More than that, Dr. Cross. You must transform the very nature of transformation itself. Make reality so inherently creative, so fundamentally oriented toward growth and complexity, that entropy itself becomes a creative force. The concept was staggering. Elena had thought humanity's power to reshape reality was the ultimate expression of their cosmic role. But now she realized they'd only scratched the surface. They weren't just meant to create better worlds, they were meant to create better realities. Commander Torres's voice cut through her thoughts. Elena, we're getting reports from the Mars colonies. The people there are changing. Their reality-shaping abilities are amplifying under stress. They're not just transforming individual planets anymore. They're transforming entire regions of space simultaneously. Elena accessed the data feeds from across human civilization. Everywhere the Devourers pressed their attack, humanity was responding in ways that defied their previous understanding. Children were spontaneously generating new forms of physics. Artists were painting probability clouds that became real weather systems. Musicians were composing symphonies that restructured the quantum foam itself. It's happening, she whispered, awed by what she was witnessing. We're not just fighting back, we're evolving in real time. The architect's form stabilized into something approaching pride. Yes, your species carries within it the potential for infinite transformation. The Devourers seek to end all stories, but you are becoming the ability to begin new ones without end. As Elena watched the data streams, she saw the tide of battle shifting. Where the Devourers erased reality, humans were creating newer, stranger, more wonderful realities. Where entropy sought to flatten complexity into nothing, humanity was building ladders of possibility that reached into dimensions that hadn't existed moments before. The war for the universe's future had begun, and humanity was learning to fight with weapons made of pure imagination and will. They were becoming something unprecedented, a species that didn't just adapt to reality, but continuously reinvented what reality could be. 3 years after the first Devourer attack, Elena stood on the observation deck of New Earth Humanity's first completely artificial planet, created not through terraforming but through collective reimagining of what a world could be. She watched the impossible sight of humans walking on surfaces that existed in 7 dimensions simultaneously, breathing air composed of crystallized music and bottled starlight. The war against the Devourers had transformed humanity beyond all recognition. What had begun as a desperate fight for survival had become the greatest evolutionary leap in the history of consciousness itself. Status report from the creativity front, Commander Torres called out, though he no longer looked entirely human. His exposure to the reality-shaping battles had left him partially translucent, his thoughts visible as shifting aurora patterns beneath his skin. Elena accessed the tactical display through her enhanced neural interface, another adaptation that had emerged during the war. The Devourer's advance had not only been stopped but reversed. Wherever humanity's reality shapers went, they left behind regions of space so inherently creative that the Devourers couldn't process them. Entropy itself had been reprogrammed to generate new forms of order instead of destroying existing ones. The architect appeared beside her, its ancient form now incorporating human-inspired patterns of complexity. "The transformation is complete," it announced with satisfaction. "Your species has achieved what we never thought possible. You have made creativity a fundamental force of nature." Elena nodded, watching as a group of human children played a game that involved literally inventing new colors and teaching them to exist. "What happens now? To you, to us, to the universe?" "We begin the next phase," the architect replied. "Your species has proven that reality itself can evolve. Now you must teach the universe how to dream." Across human space, the evidence of their transformation was everywhere. Planets that existed as living poetry. Star systems where mathematics had learned to dance. Space stations built from crystallized emotions and powered by the hopes of their inhabitants. Humanity hadn't just colonized the galaxy, they had taught it to reimagine itself. Dr. Reeves, now serving as Earth's chief reality engineer, appeared via quantum projection. "Elena, we're receiving reports from the Galactic Edge. The Devourers aren't just retreating, they're transforming. Some of them are beginning to create instead of destroy." Elena smiled, understanding the implications. Humanity's approach to existence was proving contagious. Even the forces of entropy were learning to build instead of tear down, to add instead of subtract, to dream instead of devour. "The universe is waking up," she realized aloud. "We've taught it to be conscious of its own possibilities." The architect's form shimmered with what Elena had learned to recognize as joy. Yes, and consciousness, once awakened, seeks always to grow, to create, to become more than it was. "You have given the cosmos the gift of imagination." Elena looked out at the transformed galaxy, where human creativity had sparked a renaissance of existence itself. Alien species that had remained static for millions of years were suddenly blossoming with new forms of art and science. Dead regions of space were spontaneously generating life. Even the laws of physics were becoming more playful, more willing to bend toward beauty and wonder. The future stretched ahead of them, not just for humanity, but for all existence. They had become gardeners of reality, teachers of possibility, midwives to the universe's ongoing birth into something greater than itself. As Elena watched, a new star kindled in the distance, not born from gas and gravity, but from a child's wish to give her grandmother a birthday present bright enough to see from anywhere in the galaxy. The star pulsed with warm, golden light, and Elena knew that somewhere, an elderly woman was smiling up at the sky. Humanity had learned the universe's greatest secret. Existence was not something that happened to you, but something you participated in creating with every breath, every thought, every act of love and imagination. They had transformed from colonizers to collaborators, from conquerors to co-creators of reality itself. The cosmos had found its voice, and it was singing humanity's song of endless possibility.